The lie slid out of his mouth so easily, it almost sounded like love. I remember nodding, pretending to understand. He kissed my forehead, called me baby, and left for work. I worked that weekend too, extra shifts, double hours, thinking I was helping us. I made sandwiches for one, folded laundry that smelled like his cologne, and told myself we were a team. But Sunday night, scrolling before bed, I saw it. His sister's post. A long table, wine glasses, laughter frozen mid-motion. His mother's smile. And there he was, sunburnt and grinning, arm around his niece, wearing the same blue shirt he'd said was too faded for public. The caption, "Family trip, so good to be together again." Everyone was there. Everyone but me. I didn't cry. I stared at the screen until it dimmed. Then I plugged in my phone, turned off the light, and decided to remember everything exactly as it was. We met in spring. He'd spilled coffee on my report during a client meeting and spent an hour apologizing. He had that boyish guilt that made people forgive him before he finished saying sorry. He said I was steady, like that was something rare. I thought we'd balance each other, his chaos, my calm. He used to hold my hand at red lights, kiss my wrist just because he could. We used to dream about someday, when the money wouldn't matter and everything would make sense. Someday came. It just looked nothing like what I'd imagined. After the photo, I started noticing the small things. The way his phone was always face down. The late nights that ended with client drinks. The laughter he saved for other people. He wasn't cruel, not in obvious ways, just absent, like a ghost who still left crumbs on the counter. I told myself maybe he was tired. Maybe we'd grown different, not apart. I told myself I was overthinking. But truth has a sound. It echoes in quiet rooms when you've run out of excuses. So I waited. The text came 2 weeks later. Need $2,800. Urgent. No context, no apology, just that. Once I'd have wired it without question, but that night my stomach went cold. Because urgency was his favorite word. It always meant my needs first. So I typed slowly, carefully, as if each word were a blade. Ask your family. And then I turned my phone face down. That was the first cut. Small, precise, clean. He didn't notice my distance at first. Men like him rarely do. They mistake silence for forgiveness. I stopped reminding him about bills. Let late fees stack up. His name was on all of them. I redirected my paycheck to a separate account, quietly, piece by piece. I learned how to disappear inside the same house. New passwords, new lawyer, new spine. He still kissed my forehead sometimes, out of habit. I let him. It made him careless. By the time he realized I'd stopped paying, the mortgage was 3 months behind. He came home storming, voice raised, cheeks flushed. What the hell happened to the account? I didn't look up from my laptop. I thought you'd cancel it, I said. Money's tight, remember? His jaw clenched. Silence. Then he left the room. That was the second cut. The third was quieter. He'd been using my credit for years. Joint cards, emergency loans, debts I hadn't signed for but was liable to. I gathered everything, emails, transactions, photos, timestamps, and handed them to my attorney. Identity fraud, misappropriation, tax evasion. He didn't know I'd been documenting him for months. He thought I was grieving. I was building. The confrontation came on a Tuesday morning, rain tapping the kitchen window. He walked in holding the notice. Foreclosure warning, in black and white. "You knew about this?" he demanded. "Yes." His eyes widened. "You could have stopped it." "I could have," I said, "but I didn't." He laughed, bitter, sharp. "You're punishing me for one trip?" "No," I said softly, "for every lie that came dressed as love." He threw the notice on the counter. "You'll regret this." "I already did," I said, "for years." He didn't speak after that, just stared, like seeing me for the first time. The woman who used to shrink when he raised his voice. The woman who'd stopped shrinking. That was the final cut. The one that drew real blood. The divorce was clinical, almost beautiful in its precision. My lawyer called it bulletproof. He left with his debts and his pride. I kept the house, the car, and the quiet. His family stopped calling after I sent copies of the financial records to his sister, the same one who'd posted that photo. I didn't add a message. The documents spoke for themselves. It's strange how healing sounds nothing like forgiveness. It's quieter, sharper. I started sleeping again. I bought myself flowers, the kind he used to say were a waste. I filled the empty rooms with music.